Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 22 rebuild. In today's episode, we're going to be rebuilding the Cleveland Browns, so let's just get straight into it with this team. Baker Mayfield. For those of you guys saying, oh, he had like a shoulder problem, that's why he was playing bad this year, or this and that, he was playing through an injury, this and that. This dude's been given so many opportunities to perform. Oh, well, he's a young QB, he needs time to develop. When you have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt to take stress off your shoulders, you had Odell, who clearly wasn't the problem. If you look at him on the Rams, he's excelling amazingly on the Rams. He just couldn't produce with Baker. I don't just it's Baker that's the problem, obviously, because Odell produced with Eli Manning, then he produced with Matthew Stafford. Eli Manning at the time, whenever he was with Odell, obviously was not in his prime anymore, but still, Eli was able to do it, and then Matthew Stafford's able to do it. Like, he had the weapon he needed. Odell was the answer for him, and he didn't excel. Jarvis Landry, I love Jarvis, but at the same time, I don't think he's the receiver everyone makes him out to be. Everyone thinks he's this god tier. He's the savior. He was great on the Dolphins, but I don't think he's a receiver one. He's a receiver two or a slot player. I don't see him as a receiver one. That's just my personal 2 cents on it. He had the best offensive line in the NFL, probably. Some people would debate the Buccaneers have a better offensive line, but in my opinion, the best offensive line, two amazing running backs, the best running back duo in the NFL. He had Odell, he had Jarvis Landry, he had David Njoku, he had Austin Hooper, who was great before he came to Cleveland. Like, he is the problem. If you don't think he's the problem, then you're just too stubborn-minded to realize it. If you are a Browns fan that's getting upset by this, don't worry. I'm going to trade him away for a first-round pick, and we're going to get a new answer for this team because obviously this isn't working out. So Baker is obviously going to be gone. Jarvis, he's 28 years old. He's not going to do anything, so he's not going to be a re-sign player of mine, but I'm not going to trade him away. David Njoku or Austin Hooper, one of these guys has to go, and I don't know if it's going to be Austin Hooper. I think they signed him to a huge deal. Yeah, I think Austin Hooper is going to be at the one that has to go because I'm not going to pay him $14 million a year. I just don't want to do that. I don't feel comfortable doing that. David Njoku is the guy that I'm going to keep around. I know he's not amazing, but he will do something. Jadeveon Clowney is amazing in simulation. In real life, I think this guy is extremely overrated. He was considered an elite pass rusher going into the draft. Number one pick overall. I know injuries have been a thing with him, but 4.5, 6.5, 9, 9, 9, 3, then 0. This dude has never put up a double-digit sack in a season. That's extremely sad for a number one overall pick. I think this dude should be like a 79 overall star dev. Anyways, back to the rest of the team. JOK, as a Ravens fan, I would have loved to have him on my team. As a Ravens fan, I would have loved to pick that. I'm surprised he fell that far in the draft. I thought he was going to be like a mid-first round. I think he's a great player whenever he is healthy. So I like that. I always have to make a comment about this. John Johnson, world's stupidest name. John Johnson. Think about that. You have a last name Johnson. You're going to say, let's name him John as the first name. And this isn't the first time it's happened. This is 3 generations of people willingly naming their kid John Johnson and thinking it's a good idea. Like, how stupid are you? Oh, well, you're just being a hater. No, that's a retarded name. I hate to break it to you. Anthony Walker's pretty solid. Obviously not the best choice. Ronnie Harrison is solid. I might want Delpit over him, though. I might just do that. I'm going to start Grant Delpit. Hold on, what's the contract on Ronnie Harrison? I could actually make him an outside linebacker. That's actually cheap. I want to see their stats. Well, their basically physical attributes is what I should say. 6'3", 214, and then 6'3", 213. I'm just going to move Ronnie Harrison over to left outside linebacker, have him be a cover guy, since we have 2 of these pretty solid safeties, strong safeties here. So I'm going to move him to left outside linebacker. I feel like that would just work out better for him. He has the build for it, 6'3". If he was a little bit heavier, maybe it would work out a little bit better, but that's pretty good fit there. Myles Garrett, obviously, don't need to explain anything about him. Greedy Williams has a good ceiling if he can just produce in the slot. I feel like he's a really good slot player. Greg Newsome was a great pick in the draft as well. The Browns really have a good team. It is just Baker that is the problem. That is what I will say about that. So I'm going to get to the trade center and trade him away to a team who I think would like to have him. And there it is. Baker Mayfield, Austin Hooper, and a second-round pick gets me Scary Terry. A new weapon for our future QB, whoever that will be. For right now, we're not going to have that future QB. Baker Mayfield is off to the Washington Commanders, as is Austin Hooper, and a second-round pick. I think this is necessary. We need a number one wide receiver, one of the best contested catchers in the NFL. Why not get Scary Terry? There's already been rumors of him just not re-signing with the Commanders anyways, so that's good. Case Keenum is not going to be the starter. I'm going to have to find someone. And let's see who we got in free agency. I know Colin Kaepernick, I removed him from the game. Nick Mullins, Matt Moore, Blake Bortles. Let's see who we got. Drew Stanton. None of these guys would just come back. Deshaun Kaiser. Imagine if that'd be so funny if I brought Kaiser back. Yeah, I don't think I want to do that, though. Is there going to be a QB? Jamie Newman. Let's just try you. You're a rookie. Let's just give you a shot and hypothetically say you're going to start for a year until we can find our replacement for Baker Mayfield. That's just what we're going to hypothetically say will happen. You're going to start over Case Keenum. So hopefully Jamie Newman actually puts this team in the dirt like a high draft pick. So let's get to the midseason mark. Here we're at the midseason mark as we are 1-6, bottom of the division. That is exactly what I want to see. I want to see this team tank super hard. We got Trevor Derby at top. We got Sam Rivers, South Carolina QB. Trevor Owens out of Georgia. Not really a high-ranking QB class. I want this to be a tank year. I need a new QB. We traded ours away for Scary Terry, which I'm completely fine with. A lot of people may not agree with it, but I think I can easily see Baker going to the Commanders. Jadeveon Clowney, let's see what you got here. Up this money. We're going to re-sign Jadeveon Clowney because I just need him back because he's so good in simulation. David Njoku is a guy that I want back, considering I just traded away Austin Hooper. I only have to pay him $5 million a year and not $14 million a year. Ronnie Harrison, of course, I want back as well. That's a little steep for someone who's 74 overall, but I'm going to re-sign him anyways. Anthony Walker, I don't know. I'll hold off on that. He does start regression in the next season, so I don't think I may want that. Malik McDowell, I'm just going to re-sign you only for your dev trait. You're pretty good depth, and you're actually pretty cheap, so he re-signs. Shard Higgins, no. Dearness Johnson is going to be a no. Tack McKinley is a no. Everyone else here is a no. I'm not going to worry about them. So it is now time to move in to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, not making the playoffs, finishing 6-11. Coming off a loss to the Bengals, I wish we would finish a little bit lower than 6-11, but let's look at the stats and awards. I'm sure they're horrible. Jamie Newman was, of course, horrible, but didn't expect him to do well. It's 22nd best offense, 28th best defense, doesn't make any sense. 4,200 yards, 24 TDs, 17 interceptions. Nick Chubb, 17 TDs, 5.2 per carry, 1,000 yards. Scary Terry, 1,400 yards, 6 TDs. David Njoku, 7 TDs, almost 1,000 yards. Defensively, Anthony Walker Jr., 154 tackles for a loss. 23 for Myles Garrett, sacks, 18 for Myles Garrett, interceptions, 5 for Anthony Walker Jr. He's definitely getting a re-sign. Safeties, 1 for Anthony Walker Jr. and 0 defensive touchdowns. Yeah, Anthony Walker Jr. is for sure getting a re-sign. Anyways, guys, it's time to move in to the offseason. And here we are in the offseason as the Saints beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. That's rare. Quan Alexander wins Super Bowl MVP. There are no Browns here for the yearly awards, unfortunately. So let's move into the roster, see if we have any development upgrades offensively. Looks like none. I'm going to move into a running scheme offensively, vertical zone run, and I'm going to get out of this Tampa Bay and go to a running scheme. I should have done that in the first place. Actually, no, I shouldn't have. Let's go to Baltimore. Then let's go. Baltimore's defense is sometimes up or down. I want to test other defenses while I'm here. Let's test Miami's defense. Let's see how that goes. And yeah. Defensively, Anthony Walker gets an upgrade, of course. JOK only came with star dev. I expected that. Anthony Walker is the only guy that got a dev up. That is unfortunate considering he starts regression in the next season. I'm still going to re-sign him because he had a boss season, of course. But yeah, I'm just going to go into this running scheme, see how we do at the midseason mark whenever we get back into the regular season. I should have gone into a running scheme before, but at the same time, I was looking for a tank. 2021 retirements. We are the AFC North. Let's see what we have. Calais Campbell and our punter retire. That's cool. Now looking into the players ready to negotiate here. Let's see who we have. Anthony Walker, of course. I'll keep him on that 3-year deal, but he does start regression the next season. I'm keeping him around. Everyone else here is a no. So it's time. Free agency, $38 million. I don't know if there's anyone we actually need, though. I have my receivers. I'm just looking for a QB. I'm seriously just looking for a QB. That's the only thing I need. So if there is one there that interests me, I will update you guys. But if not, I'll just skip to the draft. Okay, so we're trading up 2 spots in the draft to pick our QB. From pick 7 to pick 5, trading a left outside linebacker who's secondary behind Ronnie Harrison and a 4th-round pick to move up to this spot. James Webb went off the board, this QB, and the Sam Rivers guy went off. I honestly wanted James Webb, but Trevor Owens is here, and I'm going to take him. Let's see what we got. Hidden development, 87 throw power. Yikes. Looks like he's going to be a lower overall. I think James Webb honestly would have been a better pick. I expected Trevor Owens to go off the board before James Webb, but it is what it is. So let's just skip to the 3rd round. And in the 3rd round, Mark McAllister, hidden dev, 87 speed. Saw B play rec, B power moves, and I thought it was good enough. Nice. We have a secondary middle linebacker behind Anthony Walker Jr. Here we are after the draft, and Owens is a 69 overall. Nice. Not really. I'm going to continue to go in a running scheme for this season because obviously Trevor Owens is not amazing, and we also have an amazing running back duo, so why would I not keep it here? So our numbers for running will be up, but our passing numbers will obviously be down. I won't blame it on him. Jarvis Landry has a horrible contract. I literally had just realized that. His contract is quite bad, but it's only 1 final year, so I'm just going to ride it out and then just let him hit free agency. So anyways, guys, it's now time to move into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 4-2, second in the division, a very highly contested division, so we could slip this lead at any point in time. Scary Terry is here. Of course, I'm going to want him back. I just traded big time for him, and here he signs. Denzel Ward, of course, I need him back as well. 1st-round pick, huge addition on this team. He wants more salary, even though I just gave it to him. Makes no sense. Jarvis can be gone. J.C. Treader, I'd like to keep. I don't know if I can, though. So let's see what we got. I think I'll actually let J.C. Treader hit free agency, and I'll pick him up on a cheap deal if he's still there, because I want Kareem Hunt with this threat. Yeah, I want this Kareem Hunt threat with Nick Chubb, because we don't have to pay a QB. Because ours is a rookie. Greedy Williams is a guy I would like back as well. AJ Green, the knockoff. Yeah, that's interesting. And yeah, Greedy is a guy I want back. JC Treader, I'm just going to try and scoop him on a cheap deal in free agency if I can get him for that. So it's now time to move into the playoffs. And here we are in the playoffs coming off a loss to the Saints. As we're 12-5, that loss to the Saints really lost us that 1st seed and really lost us that home field advantage. We're the 5th seed because of it whenever we should have been the 1st seed. Anyways, we're here to face the 10-7 New England Patriots. Let's see the stats and awards. I don't expect a rookie QB to do good. Great in passing touchdowns, not in yards, obviously. 12th best offense in the NFL. Best defense in the NFL. Miami's defense seems to work great. Trevor Owens, I didn't expect him to have a good season. He's a 69 overall, and we're in a running scheme. 3,400 yards, obviously, is not good. 32 touchdowns is great considering that we're in a running scheme. And he's a Georgia QB, and Nick Chubb's Georgia running back. Cool chemistry, even though they didn't play together. Interceptions, 13 in a running scheme. I don't know if I like that. It needs to be toned down. Out of 450 attempts, I would like that to be around 9, below 10. But that's fine for now. Nick Chubb, 15 touchdowns, 5.5 per carry. 336 carries, 1,800 yards. Exactly the production I expected from him. Kareem Hunt should be getting way more reps than just 55. Scary Terry gets 6 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards. And Njoku, almost 800 yards, 6 TDs. Landry, 7 TDs, 721 yards. Obviously, again, running scheme. Anthony Walker, 100 tackles for a loss. 21 for Myles Garrett, sacks. 16.5 for Myles Garrett. This is what I was talking about. Jadeveon Clowney is a god in Madden. 13.5 sacks, interceptions, 4 for Denzel Ward. safeties is going to be 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. What I mean by Jadeveon Clowney is a god Madden for like an 85 overall. Obviously, Myles Garrett did better than him, but he's a 99 overall. I expect that of him, so let's see if we can beat the New England Patriots to move on to the divisional round, and we can. Whooping them 45-17 reminds me of the Bills and Patriots game this year that happened in real life. Let's see if we can beat the 9-8 Pittsburgh Steelers, who managed to slither into the playoffs to move on to the conference championship. And we do 20-17. Let's see if we can now beat the 9-8 Denver Broncos. I want to see who the QB is. No way you're going to tell me Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater actually brought them here. Teddy Bridgewater brought him here. Interesting. All right then. Anyways, let's see if we can beat the Denver Broncos to move on to the Super Bowl. Here we are against the Denver Broncos as they are 9-8 and we are 12-5, 7-0. Okay, 10-0. Good job. Come on, guys, 7-10. Okay, they're making a comeback and they didn't capitalize on that one. They capitalized on that one, 14-10, 14-13. Come on, we got to get in the end zone. There we go, 21-14. Come on, just one more score will put it away for us. Come on, dude. You guys seriously choked this? You guys seriously choked this. I'm going to have to take over because they choked that. And it is up, and it is good. Barely slips in, and we're going to be heading off to the Super Bowl because of it. Here we are in the Super Bowl, here to face the 11-6 Carolina Panthers. I'm sure Sam Darnold is a god in simulation, as he always is. So let's go to Panthers. Where is it? Panthers, Sam Darnold is the QB. Something that I would expect. Okay, now let's go to the roster and see if anyone has development upgrades. What does Trevor have for a development? He has star dev. I'm fine with that. He doesn't get a dev up, obviously, because, you know, he didn't really have that amazing of a season. Defensively, looking into it, Ronnie Harrison gets superstar. Jadeveon Clowney gets superstar as well. And there's no other upgrades here for the team, which is unfortunate, but it's fine with me. So anyways, guys, apart from that, it is now time to move into the Super Bowl against the Carolina Panthers to see if we can win. Here we are against the Carolina Panthers in simulation. Just a bunch of punts. As I say that, they score, of course, 7-7 now. And just back and forth, 10-7, 14-10. Seems very similar to last game. 14-13, 17-13. That's fine. What are we going to have? Come on. Come on, someone's got to do something. 17-13, very low scoring Super Bowl. Total of 30 points combined scored. Already a successful rebuild. And Trevor Owens is the very first ever starting rookie QB to win a Super Bowl. I think there has maybe been one starting rookie to be in a Super Bowl, but I'm very positive that there's never been a starting rookie QB to win a Super Bowl. So Owens beats Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl. And I'm not going to change up the schemes for next season at all. I don't care if Trevor Owens doesn't develop. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And your Super Bowl MVP is Jadeveon Clowney. That's what I've been saying this entire time. He's quite good. Trevor Owens wins Rookie of the Year somehow, even though he doesn't have that many passing yards. I mean, yeah, he won the Super Bowl, so I can see that easily. But again, I'm not going to be changing any of my schemes or any of my offense. I'm just going to keep it in a running offense, considering we won the Super Bowl with this offense. Why would I ever change it? Makes no sense to do that. 2022 retirements. Let's see who we got here. AFC North. Case Keenum retires, a Super Bowl champion, as he does nothing. Players ready to negotiate here. Let's see who we have. Denzel Ward wanted more salary. I remember that. I gave him more salary, and then he just didn't accept anyways. And here he signs. Jarvis stays the same overall. How cheap would you be? $10 million a year? Yeah, no. Screw off. Greedy Williams, I would love to have back. Let's up this money, and he resigns. J.C. Treader, I'm not going to resign. I'm going to see if I can scrape him in free agency. Actually, I have other offensive linemen to pay. Yeah, I have other offensive linemen to pay in this upcoming season. So I have to spend my money on people like Jedrick Wills. Actually, I have a fifth-year option with him that I can do. So either way, I'm not going to scrape my money together with $21 million. I'm just going to skip to the draft and probably draft a center. Our first-round pick is going to be a defensive tackle, Gene Sheldon, 88 strength. He looks like he's going to be a decent overall, but it doesn't really seem to be that good of a pick, but it's whatever. Here we are after the draft, as I picked up this Null guy in the second round. Doesn't seem to be too good. The defensive tackle we pick is a 76 overall. He's a good player. Just not a good overall. Cooks, the CPU picked up this guy. I never draft good players like the CPU does most of the time. Anyways, let's look into the free agents. I want a free agent wide receiver here. Younghoe Koo. Do we even have a good kicker? I don't even know. I know we don't have a punter probably, so Sam Cook is going to be our punter. And kicker, do we even have one? I don't know. I don't really care either. I'm sure the CPU will sign one of these top kickers. Devontae Parker, let's bring another Miami Dolphin over to Cleveland, and that works for me. Any other wide receivers here that I could possibly want? Wide receiver, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Let's look at the wide receivers. Wide receiver, Zach Pascal. On Zach Pascal as a slot. I feel like that'd be pretty good. So he is on the team. Everyone else is pretty good. Let's look back into the roster and refresh it to make sure I have everything the way I want it. Best lineup, Devontae Parker, specialist. Zach Pascal is going to be the slot. Cooks is going to be coming off the edge there. I got the 1-2 punch duo here. That looks pretty good to me. Defensively, looking pretty good. McAllister is a 76 star dev. I completely forgot to mention him. I forgot about that guy completely. And yeah, we should be pretty good. I don't know why I feel like I'm forgetting something. Zach Pascal is there. Donovan Peoples-Jones, Devontae Parker. We got everything we want. It's special teams. It's yeah, let's get a kicker. Let's get Younghoe Koo or Tyler Bass. I feel like Tyler Bass would probably be the better option. Free agents. Let's go to Tyler Bass and sign him. And Tyler Bass is on the team. Good stuff. We got our kicker, our punter. We're all good. Now it's time to move into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 5-2, second division behind the 7-0 Steelers. What god do they have at QB? Oh man, I can't wait for it to say Marcus Mariota. It's going to be a real thriller. Show me it. Show me it. Marcus Mariota. Man, I am so good at guessing these things. What a god at QB they have. It happens every time in simulation. 5-2, we're a pretty good team. Players ready to negotiate here. Let's see who we have. John Johnson. As much as I hate your name, I don't hate your playing level. So, you are going to be re-signed. Jedrick Wills, you're supposed to be a fifth-year option because you were a first-round pick. So, of course, I'm supposed to get a fifth-year option, but EA doesn't give it to me. So, I'm just going to make my own fifth-year option. Just roll over 5 years. I know you're supposed to get bigger money pay, but I'm not going to go into the specifics of that. I could care less, honestly. And if the game would load, I would appreciate that and not care less, but it never does. Players ready to negotiate. Let's see who we got. Grant Delpit. I'd love to have him back as well. I don't think he was a first-round pick. Yeah, he was a second-round pick. I'm pretty sure. I want to confirm that, even though I just re-signed him. Stats, contracts, awards. Let's see who we got. Second-round pick in 2012, so he can't get a fifth-year option. Donovan Peoples-Jones, no. Devontae Parker's a maybe at the end of the season if he's cheap. Tyler Bass is a yeah. Everyone else is a no. So re-sign Tyler Bass I know that, but I can't re-sign him right now. So let's move to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs once again, finishing 11-6 as the the Steelers. That would be horrible if your team name was called the Feelers, especially for children. Anyways, San Francisco 49ers coming off a loss. We would have secured the division if we did it, but we did not get that win. So let's see the stats and awards here. And Owens, again, not that good. In a running scheme, 19th best offense, defensively 7th. Okay, Miami's playbook is what works. 3,200 yards, 28 TDs, 7 interceptions. Pretty good ratio for only having 427 attempts. Nice. Nick Chubb, 6.0 per carry, 23 TDs, 1,900 yards. This is exactly why we're in a running scheme. And if we probably didn't let Kareem Hunt have any of the reps, then he probably would have surpassed 2,000 yards in a season. Devontae Parker was our leading receiver, above Scary Terry, so he's probably going to get a re-sign. David Njoku did pretty solid. Donovan Peoples-Jones did solid for his position. Anthony Walker Jr. with the most tackles, JOK with 101. Tackles for a loss, 15 for Myles Garrett and 15 for Clowney. Sacks, 16 for Myles Garrett, 15.5 for Jadeveon Clowney. Interceptions, 5 for Greedy Williams. Safeties, 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. So let's see if we can run it back-to-back Super Bowls in this wild card. Let's see if we can beat the 11-6 Las Vegas Raiders to move on to the divisional round. And we do, 31-24. Let's see if we can beat Marcus Mariota and the division winners to move on to the conference championship. And we do, 20-17. Kind of like last year we won 20-17 as well. Let's see if we can beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not going to hop into it because we've already won the Super Bowl. So let's see if we can do it. We lost 42-28. That's unfortunate as the Jaguars make it to their first Super Bowl ever, I believe. And the Packers beat the Jaguars in the Super Bowl. Brenton Wakefield, I believe that's a CPU-generated player. If not, whatever. Wins Super Bowl MVP. Let's see if there is any development upgrades for the team. Let's get a roster, adjust lineup, and let's see what we got here. Offensively, we look the exact same, but I am going to change the scheme to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense because for those of you guys saying, oh, this is working, why are you going to change it? I might as well. It's the final season. We already have a successful rebuild. I want to see the potential of Trevor Owens with this receiving core, 99 overall, and Devontae Parker and Njoku. I want to see what his true potential can be. Defensively, looking into it, anyone? I'm surprised. Yeah, Clowney's going to get an X factor. You just had 15.5 sacks in a season, and you had 13.5 the previous season. You're having great years. I don't see why you wouldn't get Superstar X Factor. It makes total sense that you would, having back-to-back seasons like that were in the teens for sacks, not just double digits. But, yeah, everyone else here seems the same. Now I'm going to move into the re-sign players. Probably re-sign Tyler Bass. Well, actually, I will re-sign Tyler Bass. Probably Devontae Parker as well, because even though you might want a big contract, but I feel like we just do need receivers. I could actually get him on a cheaper deal since nobody wants to touch him in free agency. Players ready to negotiate. Wow, there's the EA Sports logo next to the players ready to negotiate. First time I'm seeing that. Probably just loaded in. Sam Cook retires as a Brown. As a Ravens fan, I don't really like that. I don't really like that I signed him now. And the EA logo went away for some reason. Donovan Peoples-Jones, no. Tyler Bass, yeah, I want him back on the team. Up that money for him because why not? And Devontae Parker, sure, you had a great season. That's actually a really cheap deal, so I will sign that. And he wants to test out free agency, even though I gave you more money. We're going to see if we can pick up another couple receivers in free agency, and then we're just going to skip to the draft. After free agency, we're picking up Tyler Boyd, former Bengal, now on his division rivals team, and Devontae Parker again on the same deal as I offered him. Aaron Rodgers got offered by the Bears but didn't accept. I mean, he owns the Bears, so why would he go there? Why does he have to go there if he already owns them? Anyways, let's move to the draft. In the first round, I'm picking up Vondre Bullock. Doesn't seem to be that good. Doesn't really matter to me. It's the final season. I'm just going to skip to the end of the draft. So this is the team after the draft and after free agency. We're looking pretty solid here. I like what we have. Devontae Parker, Tyler Boyd. And it looks like, yeah, Bullock isn't even a 75 overall. He doesn't even make the top 6 for wide receivers. Unfortunate. Defensively, looking into it, this is what we look like. I like what we got. I want to look into the schemes one last time before I actually simulate into this fourth and final season. We already have a successful rebuild with this team without Baker Mayfield. Actually, first year without Baker Mayfield. I got to remember Miami's playbook is pretty good. We're going to go Tampa Bay's playbook just to see how good Trevor Owens is. And we're just going to simulate the playoffs because we don't need the midseason mark. And here we are in the playoffs, making the playoffs, finishing 14-3, top the division. It looks like the passing scheme is what worked best. Our rushing game was still 11th in the league. 42-10 win against the Eagles. Trevor Owens seems to be a beast. I should have started him. Yeah, savage, MVP. Very first time we actually give him a shot. You can't blame me for not wanting to not go into a passing scheme because we had a 99 overall running back. But I guess technically you can now. Drafted a new MVP QB and looking into it, best offense in the league, 10th best defense. 5,200 yards, 51 TDs, 10 interceptions, amazing year. Nick Chubb, 1,600 yards, 5.6 per carry, 24 TDs, still an amazing year, and he got quite a bit of carries too. 1,200 yards, 14 TDs for Tyler Boyd. Scary Terry, 5 TDs, 1,100 yards. Devontae Parker, 1,100 yards, 20 TDs. That has to be best receiver for Devontae Parker. I'm surprised by that. AFC Offensive Player of the Year. Let's do that. Trevor Owens, rookie. I don't think we had anyone. Logan Radovich? I don't know who that is. Best receiver, Devontae Parker, then Tyler Boyd. Devontae Parker seriously wins a best receiver award. Could anyone ever seriously imagine that? Okay, now looking into the defensive side. Once I get to it, JOK, 113 tackles for a loss, 19 for Jadeveon Clowney and Garrett. Sacks, 23.5 for Jadeveon Clowney. I think that's a record all time, not counting if someone already broke it during the simulation. Myles Garrett, 15. That's what I was talking about with Clowney. He's a freak in simulation, but he's not a freak in real life. Interceptions, 5 for Denzel Ward, 4 for Greedy. Safeties on the team, 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. So anyways, guys, let's see who we're going to be facing in the first round of this playoff matchup. Probably the Bengals, I would assume, because they're 10-7. And we are. Okay, the Bengals is who we're going to play. And let's see if we can beat the Bengals to move on to the conference championship. And we do, 31-28. Let's see if we can beat the Titans to move on to the Super Bowl and do it back-to-back. Can we do it? 38-33. Here to face the Packers, who made it back-to-back Super Bowls. Let's see if they can win it back-to-back years. Wait, they don't have Aaron Rodgers. He hit free agency. Who was their QB? They're able to go back-to-back Super Bowls with different QBs. Very interesting. Packers, QB, Jordan Love, superstar Dev. Okay, that's who they did it with. Okay, so let's see the roster to see if there is any development upgrades. It should be for the quarterback, Trevor Owens. Yup. And it looks like Glenn Muldrow. I don't know who this guy is. The CPU apparently picked him up in the draft and is better at drafting than I am. Devontae Parker gets superstar. Tyler Boyd gets superstar as well. David Njoku, I don't think he had that good of a season, so I don't think I'm going to really necessarily bother with him. That's it's season stats. No, season stats. Go to, no, not career. Yeah, season. Career stats. Yeah, that's better. I'm not going to give him the dev up. He didn't get 1,000 yards. He got close to it, though. Defensively, JOK has superstar dev. I don't know if he got it before. Denzel Ward gets superstar dev, and Greg Newsome gets superstar dev as well. That's sick. I'm going to auto-upgrade these players. Then we're just going to simulate the Super Bowl because I'm not going to even bother hopping into it because we've already won a Super Bowl, so there's no need to. So we're going to auto-upgrade all these players. Trevor Owens is now an 89 overall superstar development QB. Now let's see who's going to win this Super Bowl, and can we do it? We lost 31-14. Unfortunate. Still a successful rebuild because we made it to 2 Super Bowls, won 1. LaMarcus White, I'm assuming that's a CPU-generated player. Trevor Owens wins League MVP. Trevor Owens wins Offensive Player of the Year. Jadeveon Clowney wins Defensive Player of the Year. Quite the awards. Amazing way to end the final season. I know we did lose, but it doesn't really matter. This is the 4th and final overlook of the team before I end this video. Super successful rebuild. If you guys have any complaints, let me know down in the comments below. I'm sure most of you Brown fans haven't even made it to this far in the video. If you have, let me know. Defensively, that's what we're rocking with. And I like what we got. So anyways, guys, apart from that, let me know which team you'd like me to rebuild next. And I'll see you guys all in the next one.